In my opinion, I firmly believe that in today's society, we constantly feel pressure from media, from other people, friends, family, to believe that you have achieved in life and you have succeeded in life if you are in a relationship. Whether it's your own mum, like in my case, who's always constantly on my ass like, "Oh, Cam, when are you gonna get a girlfriend?" Or, "Oh, Cam, you seen anyone recently?" Or anything like that. Or you being the only one of your friends who's free on a weekend because the rest of them are tied down with their boys or their girls. We seem to get told subliminally that every single second that we're single is another second you are failing in life, essentially. And I just wanted to debunk that as soon as possible, to be fair. So today's topic explores the question of like, how long should you be single for? Before I start the video and get stuck in, guys, please give the video a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe and engage, man. Comment, you know how I like it. Comment on the video and yeah, let's get started.
Early in the morning,
So more time, yeah, I'll be looking around at my friends, I'll be looking around at society, I'll be looking around at whoever on social media, and I see that everyone's striving for relationships. If it's memes talking about single or this and that, and I feel like relationships is always on everyone's mind, and sometimes people don't really feel that being single is an option. I've always felt, or I've started to feel recently that anyone who manifests or doesn't manifest any desire to be in a relationship is viewed as kind of like pitiable and maybe someone who's damaged or not normal, essentially. But to answer the title's question, obviously, how long's a piece of string? There is no definitive answer to that question, how long you should be single for. Ultimately, there is no blueprint for life. Life is not black and white, it's very, very grey. So I'd like to believe that everyone is big enough and bold enough to make their own decisions of when they want to be in a relationship, when they don't, what they're looking for, why they're looking for this, and be able to make the choices that they want to make. However, in the meantime, I feel like we should all be striving towards certain things while our own lives are our own priority. The first thing I feel like we should do when we're single is learn to love ourselves. Fall in love with spending time with ourselves, fall in love with everything about ourselves, whether it's your flaws, it could be physical flaws, fall in love with our physicality, embrace our insecurities. It could be therapy. Therapy gives you a chance to fall in love with yourself because you're understanding more about yourself, you're learning about yourself. I've always had the belief that if you can love yourself and strive to be a more complete version of yourself, then you can ultimately give your whole self to someone else when the time's right. Because if you're in a relationship and you don't really love and you don't fully love yourself, or you haven't been able to embrace yourself in certain ways, I don't feel like it's gonna work in a relationship because you've still got your own development to do, you've still got your own growth to do. The second thing I feel like we should do when we're single, which kind of ties in with the first thing, is establish or pattern like individual moves. So like, for example, it could be doing something like a side hustle. This YouTube thing is literally an example of a side hustle. You know, I've got friends that are in events, I've got friends that are doing cooking, I've got friends that are doing music, I've got friends doing a lot of different extracurricular activities. It could be taking up a new hobby. I mentioned it in one of my other videos about how to deal with a breakup. Taking up a new hobby, for example, boxing. Is it football? Is it knitting? Is it cushion making? Is it... I big up all the cushion makers out there as well, by the way, but it could be absolutely anything. It could be doing more moves with friends. It could be socializing here, it could be networking there. When you start patterning individual moves, I feel like your identity starts to take shape. You then have the freedom and enjoyment to do exactly what you want. I know you can do that in a relationship, 100%. I just feel like in a relationship it might be limited. So when you're single, when you've got the opportunity where your own life and your own mind is your priority, definitely do these things, taking up new hobbies, etc. Things like that, because it gives you a chance to develop, it gives you a chance to grow as a person. And when you're single, you really, really want to be developing yourself. You really want to be growing all the time. So when you do finally meet that person, a person that you can see a foreseeable future with, you've been doing all this development behind the scenes, so you're then portraying the best version of yourself to other people, to potential candidates, to potential bays, future bays and everything there. So yeah, I think the third thing for me would be taking leaps of faith. Leaps of faith has been my ethos for 2019, whether it's YouTube, whether it's shaving my beard off, whether it's going certain places. Taking leaps of faith is 100% the way to go. Taking leaps of faith could be anything. You could be deciding to pack your bags up and leave and go traveling. It could be big, it could be small. I think the most important thing is that it's taking yourself out your comfort zone. I think optimizing this freedom is key, because ultimately it leaves you with no regrets about how you spend your single years. And if you've got no regrets at all, it means that you won't grow to resent yourself. And by extension, you won't grow to resent your partner. Because if you feel like you've got regrets, or you didn't achieve, or you didn't get out there the way you should have done when you were single, I feel like you will have those regrets. I feel like you will resent yourself and your partner subliminally, subconsciously. You might not even realize it. You might even feel that this partner's limiting your potential, your wings. She's clipping your wings, or he's clipping your wings, whatever, you feel me? So I think answering the question, how long should you be single for, is impossible. Like I said, it's all relative. There is no definitive answer. I feel like when we're single, we should be doing stuff to better ourselves, enjoying our freedom, because when the time is right, you can then give the best version of yourself to your partner. So whether doing those 3 things takes a month, whether it takes 6 months, whether it takes 2 years or beyond, there is no time limit. You know, I've been single now for coming up to nearly 2 years, and it's been the most enjoyable time of my life. You know, because I've been growing and I've still got a long way to go. So I know that the next time I do find myself in a relationship, I'll have minimal regrets, probably actually 0 regrets, and I feel like I'll be an amazing boyfriend to someone. Until singlehood is completely equal prestige with its alternative, can we actually ensure people will be free in their choices and join couples for the right reasons? For example, that they actually love another person rather than being scared to be single or scared to be alone. People demonize being alone, or there's a taboo around being alone. Being alone doesn't make you lonely. That is key. Please let that sink in. Being alone doesn't make you lonely. Trust me, you can be lonely and have a lot of people in your circle. In addition, choosing to stay single doesn't mean you aren't romantic, because I feel like it's usually the ones who want a relationship so much that they end up being in a mediocre one, literally because they're terrified of being alone. In my opinion, I've got no evidence to back this up, but I feel like relationships best suit people who don't really expect too much from them. I don't know, ultimately, no one can tell you how long you should be single for. You're a big person, you're a big man, you're a big girl, you can make up your own decisions. As long as you are spending that time being single, focusing on development, focusing on growth, focusing on positivity, putting your energy towards things that are good. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video. You know how it is, Sunday, 7 PM, cams on your screens, your big screens, your tablets and that. So yeah, like I said, subscribe to the video, comment, and yeah, follow me on the socials, CamXGeorge on Insta, and yeah, holler at your damn boy.